and other things like SGA and Peer Holders. If you know me, you know my passion in life is show choir. But I attended Sunday school there about every week, and it was fine. But after years of going, I found myself dreading Sundays and not really wanting to go. So through though Dawson is in Homewood, there are only 2 other people in my grade that went to Dawson in my Sunday school. The rest are just from Vestavia and Mount Brook, which make getting to know these kids like a lot harder since they already knew each other. So not having a good relationship with the people in my Sunday school group made it much harder to open up around them and really have a good, genuine discussion. So this is the only church that I'd come to. So when I started to come to Trinity, it really flipped my world upside down. As the church community here and the staff members genuinely care about things like how your day went, and that made all the difference. So it wasn't until 7th grade until I really started going to Trinity. I heard about Element Cafe all throughout 6th grade, but never really went. I always make up some lame excuse, like I had to walk my dog, even though I've never had a dog in my life. So it wasn't until 7th grade until a friend of mine, who was very involved in church, really persuaded me to go. He had grown up in church and always talked about his love for Trinity. So noticing his love for church really made me think about why I didn't share the same love for Moses. So after some persuasion, I decided I would go and try out this thing called Trinity and see what the hype was about. So I went, and I was definitely out of my comfort zone, but I loved it. I loved it so much because I'm still here today talking about how much I love it to you guys. So I kept going every Tuesday and Thursday, so it was a part of like my regular schedule. Soon enough, we had another guy in the group, and every Tuesday and Thursday, we would go visit our 6th grade teacher, and we would walk down to Trinity, where we would always be embraced by a warm welcome and some high fives. Trinity was starting to become a home to me, and so much a part of my life, till it got to the point where I couldn't ignore how big it had become. So since then, last year, my family officially switched to Trinity, and it's been awesome. And honestly, there's not been a Sunday that's gone by that I was in contact service where I wish I was anywhere else. It was through my best friend that I really found Trinity, and I'm forever grateful for that. So as I was saying earlier, I love being involved and having a part in many things. So naturally, as Trinity became a new home to me, I wanted to play a bigger part within the church. So this past Discovery was very different for me. I got to participate in lip sync battle, which y'all just saw, and this thing called the Everything Skit. So I'd always wanted to play a role in Discovery, and so this time it became a reality. So many of you know the Everything Skit, but for those of you who don't, here's like a brief summary of it. So the skit opens up with the main character, who's played by McKeever, and she has a great relationship with Jesus. Jesus and her are dancing, he's showing her the world, when an imagery of a tree from the Garden of Eden is formed in the back, and an apple is picked. This apple lures McKeever away from Jesus, and she experiences sin for the first time. As she bites into the apple, a new world of sin opens up. Things like greed, comparison, social media, and lust overwhelm her to the point that she contemplates suicide. McKeever is lifted into the air. She figuratively places a rope around her neck, but the love of Jesus ultimately saves her from taking her life, and she is brought down and experiences his never-ending love. She is saved, and Jesus shields her from the sins that once overwhelmed her to her breaking point. And as a symbol of being reborn again, she is baptized, and her relationship is once restored. Okay, so that's a summary. And yes, it is a very deep skit and touched on many powerful topics, but I think we would all be lying if we said we had not experienced them firsthand. Being a part of this skit was so powerful, as I saw these things that make us feel alone or less than someone are really experienced by everyone in this room. We have all been hurt by something we saw on social media, and everyone compares themselves to other people or celebrities. I, for one, am very guilty of this comparison because it's so easy to get trapped in the endless cycle of always wanting something better. And trying to take a step back and realize what you have and be grateful for it is even harder. But it is something I've had to personally work on in order to live a happy life. So this skit also expresses the power that money and lust have on everyone. The constant pursuit of money or the perfect girlfriend or boyfriend is just an endless cycle, and it will never fill the void that is missing in your life. You're always going to feel like you're missing something if Jesus is in your life, and you will be. You're constantly in search for these earthly things that make you happy. You'll never be complete. By being in this skit, I truly believe I have a better understanding of how much we need Jesus in our lives, and that we're the only ones keeping him out of it. I saw an analogy earlier this week that really sums up the message that this skit portrays. It says we relax on a plane even though we don't know the pilot, and we relax on a ship even when we don't know the captain. But why can we not do the same knowing that God is in control of our lives? This analogy ultimately captures the main idea of the Everything Skit, as we must have faith and know that these worldly sins and comparisons only lead us farther away from God and weaken our relationship with him. All of us have the burden of sin we walk around with every day, and the skit emphasizes that we all walk around with much of the same sin. You are not alone in your struggles and always can turn to Jesus to lift the weight off your shoulders. We must have trust in God and knows He is doing. We must give Him control of our lives. So the song that plays in the background during the skit is called The Power of Your Love. And I really encourage all of you, if you have some Jesus playlists, just to add it to that or listen to it tonight, because it really is very impactful. So there's a verse, kind of like the chorus, that goes, "The power of your love has saved me. The power of your love restores me. The power of your love never fails me. Your love is all I need." This power that Jesus has in us can release any fear, doubt, comparison, greed, or pain. This song embodies how much your life can change when Jesus is there with you. Being a part of this skit and my journey getting closer to Him has shown me how intentional He is in placing people and resources in your life that will better you as a person and your relationship with God. All of us are put in people's lives to make them feel the infinite love of Jesus. We just have to outwardly express our love for Him in order for people to realize His power. I personally can trace the start of my relationship with God to my best friend showing me his love for Trinity and how I desire that same love. I'm sure you can find a time in your life where you experience Jesus' love and mercy. But if you can't, that's completely fine too. Because until I was in 7th grade, I could have never told you any moment in my life where I saw Jesus. Mine also wasn't this huge aha moment. I would have never guessed that my friend's outward love of Jesus would lead me here today talking about my amazing yet definitely imperfect relationship with Christ. If we all outwardly portray how much we love Him, maybe someday we will start their journey after experiencing how much they see God in our lives. So that is my challenge for you starting this week. Be the change someone needs in their life now and show them the amazing love of our God. Will you pray with me? God, I pray that one person in this room tonight will impact the life of someone else and start their journey of experiencing your never-ending love. I pray that you give us the courage to let go of the control we think we need on our lives and hand it over to you, because in doing so, we can live a more fulfilled life. It's in your name we pray. Amen.